Detachment is the game changer, because the moment you try and control other people is the moment you will go crazy. And as an anxiously attached person, a person who is anxiously attached to people and outcomes, I cannot tell you how helpful detachment is. Detachment will completely shift and alter your life, and at the very least, it will just provide you with so much more sanity, so much less stress, and so much less anxiety. That's not to say that I'm perfect. I still have my moments, but my goodness gracious me, I am so excited to get into this video. And the clip is not going to work on my top today because it's a really soft cotton, so I'm gonna have to hold the microphone. But let's get into it. Before we get into it though, my name is Scarlett Loon. Drop a subscribe if you're new here. I'm so happy to have you, and I'm so excited to change your life. We already know that we can't control others. And trying to control others a lot of the time is a subconscious thing that an anxious person or anxiously attached person will do. Likelihood is you don't mean to control other people. Likelihood is you are a really nice, genuine, extremely empathic person. However, the downside to that, or the side effect, is that you will try and control other people. We can't control other people. What we can do though is control what we naturally attract, which is why detachment is so powerful. What detachment will do is it will change your familiarity, right? We've all heard of the phrase that you attract what you're most familiar with. It will shift your self-limiting beliefs, and it will completely alter and heal your inner world. The more you detach from people and outcomes, and in all honesty, even if you're not an anxiously attached person, a lot of people are trying to control the outcome, their future, right? And a huge amount of people are also trying to control other people, because when you can control other people, it means that you can control your future as well. Unfortunately, that's just not possible. When you detach from these people and these particular outcomes that you desire so much, the good thing is that you come home to yourself. You get to learn more about you. You start to develop safety in you, and you start to detach from all of these people and outcomes. Before you know it, you are naturally attracting what you truly deserve, because your familiarity has changed. Your self-limiting beliefs have been reframed, and you've healed your own inner world, your own inner child. When you get to know you, your anxiety drops. Your cortisol, your stress hormone will drop. Life every day will just feel lighter. A lot of us as adults believe life just gets heavier and harder every single day, every single year, every single decade. That doesn't have to be the case. It's only the case if you believe it to be so. Detachment doesn't mean that you don't care. Detachment doesn't mean to be a avoidant attachment, because that's still a form of attachment. If you've ever met anyone who's avoidant, or maybe you're avoidant yourself, it doesn't mean that you're still not attached. Being an avoidant actually means that you're still attached, just in a different way. Detaching doesn't mean you're cold. It doesn't mean that you're a bitch. It means that you stop abandoning yourself for others or outcomes that don't even align with you in the first place. The good news is when you detach, you have a completely different perspective on negative situations that have happened in the past. A lot of our past has wired us to be the way we are today. In some ways that's good. In some ways we hold on to that trauma and those negative situations, and it just replays the same situations over and over again. For example, if you learned that abuse was normal, or you had an abusive parent, likelihood is you naturally attract an abusive boss, at your workplace or an abusive partner in your relationships over and over again. When you learn to detach, though, you learn to have a very positive perspective on these negative situations. We've all been through things. We will still go through things. It's part of the human experience. It means that we can experience joy because we've also experienced the most negative emotions, right? You look back on these situations, though, with gratitude. And the reason you can look back on these situations with genuine gratitude is because you're no longer emotionally stuck in those past negative situations or experiences. For example, I had a negative experience where I lost my athletic career due to all of these ankle surgeries not working. I've had 11 ankle surgeries on this foot. I've tried for 5 years. I live in pain every day because of it. I could have a negative perspective on that I lost everything I worked for. I gave up my education for it. I gave up, watching my younger siblings grow up. I gave up all of this stuff. And it resulted in me still losing the career, even though I was on the brink of my career at the time. I can now reflect on that with so much gratitude. If I didn't experience that, it wouldn't make me the person I am today. It wouldn't make me have so much wisdom to share and help others with. And in all honesty, if I didn't lose that career, then I probably wasn't on God's path or the universe's path, whatever you want to call it, because things really do happen for a reason. God, the Lord, whatever you want to call it, always has a path for you. So I can reflect on that now and be like, well, that was supposed to happen. And I have so much gratitude for, experiencing that. I left home when I was 13. I was very, very young. I learned so much. Yes, I grew up quickly, but there are many positives to having to grow up so quickly as well. It means that I never got stuck in the cycle of partying and wasting my emotional energy at these parties or young men. And you know how so many young people go out to the club every weekend, which is just this most toxic, painful, negative, energetic space because everyone is just trying to escape their reality. It meant that I never desired that because I had already experienced such a high of enlightenment, right? There's so many positives. Before I get on a ramble though, when you truly detach, you can reflect on those negative experiences, no matter how painful and traumatic they may have been, losing someone, watching someone pass away, and you can look upon that with gratitude, and that is so healing within itself. Another note I want to make is that people who are anxious or anxiously attached, they tend to overwork themselves, they tend to always struggle, and they tend to carry people or situations on their back that drain their own energy and their own emotional state. Because at the end of the day, subconsciously they believe if I can fix this person, or if I can help this person, or if I can fix this situation, then I'm worthy, and then I'm desired, or then I deserve love, right? Lots of different situations and limiting beliefs around that frame and that idea. But then they carry this, for example, person on their back that drains them. They abandon themselves in doing so. And they carry this person or situation at the detriment to their own life, to their own emotional, mental, and physical well-being. And they don't actually create the life that they know deep down they are deserving of. Detachment for an anxiously attached person is the system breaker. It will break the repetitive cycle of what anxious attachment brings you, which is so much pain, so much heartache, and so much exhaustion, and so much misalignment from the true you and the life that truly aligns with you. A question that really stuck with me when I was trying to detach from people and outcomes as someone who was severely anxiously attached and just severely anxious in general was, wouldn't you rather detach instead of making someone your whole world and crumbling every single time they pull away? Wouldn't you rather detach? The other issue, when you are attached to a person or outcomes or both, most of the time it's both, you are also subconsciously looking for problems. And when you're looking for a problem or an issue or some sort of negative, borderline toxic reason for that person to not be your person, for that person to break your heart, for the situation to not be resolved, you will find the answers that you're looking for. Quote unquote, if you want to find something, you will. Of course, you don't mean to do this, and it's a subconscious pattern of someone who is anxious or anxiously attached. You literally will corner people and assume the very worst of a person or a situation before it's even happened. This is living in survival, and a lot of anxiously attached people do live in survival or did live in a survival-like state in their childhood. So it makes sense, but it definitely does not serve you. Detachment at its core, it means separating yourself from a person or a goal. Detachment doesn't mean indifference. It doesn't mean that you think you're better than someone else or something else. It means that you see yourself as your own entity and that you as a whole, you as you right now, are such a blessing to other people, a blessing to other situations, the job that you want. You are a blessing just the way you are. The other thing that I love about detachment is that the more you detach, the more personal power you have. And no, that's not more personal power to then have power and be able to control others. No, because that's anxious and that is attached of you to even think like that. It means that you have so much power within you that you don't feel the need to have that man or that boyfriend or that job or whatever in your life, because you already have so much power within yourself to serve yourself. It means that you grow into someone that you actually like returning to, that you actually like spending time with. If you care excessively about what others think of you, or you ask people, oh, what does your mom think of me? What does your friend think of me? Did your dad like me? That is very anxiously attached of you. When you detach, it means that if that person leaves your life, you don't suddenly disappear into nothing and just crumble into literally just ashes. It means that you still have a lovely, amazing life to return to and a lovely, amazing person to return to. I just realized my necklace was in my singlet the whole time. A question that might help you to first start your detachment journey is, how can you truly live in your own reality when you are so tied up in someone else's reality? Most people stay attached to other people because they believe that they are replaceable. They are a replaceable girlfriend. They are a replaceable wife. They are replaceable within their workplace. And therefore, they are so anxiously attached, or just anxious in general, to the person, to the job, because they believe they're replaceable. How do you become irreplaceable? You become irreplaceable when you detach. Detachment means this is my world. I am okay and I'm not replaceable because I am that damn good. I am so damn unique. I wholly, truly, entirely believe into every single cell of my body, there is no other Scarlet Loon. There is no other person like me that could serve a man in the way I would, or that could serve a job in the way I would. Not only because I'm so worthy and deserving just the way I am, but also because I am so unique. There is literally no duplicate on this planet Earth that even resembles me in the slightest. Not possible. Now, whilst all of this might be great to hear, and potentially it's lighting some light bulbs up inside of your head, chances are you still feel anxiously attached. And I know the thoughts that are running through your head and how much your heart races, because I used to be that person exactly. For example, if someone didn't reply, oh my goodness, what happened? Why aren't they replying? What's going to happen if they don't reply? Nothing. This is why detachment will not only save your life, but at the very least, it will save you your own mental sanity. Detachment is the law of assumption. Detachment is the law of attraction. Detachment is when you stop overthinking, you stop overanalyzing, you stop over-communicating, and you stop trying to manage everyone else's emotional state. It's when instead of having the delusion and the illusion that you have to fix and control and borderline manipulate, detachment is when you finally realize that you can release the illusion of being responsible for others. You are not responsible for anyone. Unless you have children, you are responsible for your children. Instead, it's when you take full responsibility for yourself. You no longer have the illusion. That's what it is. It's literally an illusion. It's not even true. You're actually not responsible for anyone else, their emotions, how they react, how they speak to you, how they treat you. You're not responsible for any of that. They are. Detachment is the belief that you are enough right now. I have one tattoo. And it says, I am worthy. Because the day, and this literally makes me emotional, but the day I realized that I really truly am solely and wholly worthy, just as the way I am, was the minute my detachment journey began. The minute you believe you are enough right now is the minute you realize that there is no job, there is no money, there is no marriage, there is no future child, there is no person on this planet that will fill the void that you have from your childhood wounds. And we all have childhood wounds. Some worse than others, but with that being said, all pain is relative. So if you truly want happiness, then be happiness. You don't need the job for happiness. You don't need the partner for happiness. You don't need the dream marital situation for happiness. If you want happiness, you decide that you're going to be happy. Or if you want love, you learn to love yourself more. You learn to go on your self-love journey. And again, there is nothing outside of you that will heal the trauma or the wound that you have. The only thing that will heal it is the connection to yourself. And how do you become more connected to yourself? You learn to detach. Another aspect of detachment that I love is that when you learn to detach, you no longer shriek and stink of desperation. Desperation, that desperate energy, kills and repels everything that you want and everything that you desire in the first place. We as humans can feel someone's energy. Has someone ever walked into the room and you're like, oh my goodness, they're really overwhelmed, they're really stressed, there's something off about them? We can all feel each other's energy. If your energy is this desperate, anxious energy, it just pushes people and things away from you. And if you have a partner or a boyfriend, detachment actually allows your partner to come closer to you, because people can feel when your emotional state is dictated by their own actions or behaviors. And before they know it, they start to feel like they can't even be themselves. And they're walking on eggshells because the way they act and their actions dictates your own emotional sense of safety, and it dictates how you are that day. Are you happy? Are you annoying? Are you angry? I want to walk through some practices to help you start detaching, okay? The first one is meditating. I have learnt to meditate for about 6 years now. It was the most frustrating, annoying thing ever. I couldn't even sit with my breath for like 5 minutes. About a year and a half in, I finally learned to sit with my breath. I would do a 5-minute meditation every day, just trying to focus on my breath, and it was the hardest thing ever. But now I'm at the point where I can do 34, 35-minute meditations, and I'm so in a different brainwave state that I start to truly feel and believe myself to be the person that the future me, right? And the future version of me isn't anxious. She's completely detached. She is living in that dreamlike state where she has everything that she, deserves and that she desires. And then I start acting like that every day. be, do, have. In order to be the person, in order to be the detached person, in order to be the one who has emotional safety inside of themselves, you have to start acting like that person. So I couldn't recommend meditation enough. Another one is journaling every morning and every night. I actually have a 30 days of detachment journal prompts and also a 30 days of healing your anxious attachment journal prompts. Every single day, the journal prompts are different, and it will run you through different phases and cycles in a step-by-step process for you to heal your attachment, to be detached, or to heal your anxious attachment itself. Now, if you are anxiously attached and you know you are, I recommend you start with that one. Do that for 30 days and then do the 30 days of detachment. But if you're watching this and you're like, I'm not anxiously attached to any person or anything, I just need to work on my detachment, then you can definitely start with that one. In these journal prompts, and I'm not saying you have to purchase it. If you don't want to purchase it, you can do it yourself. Just get out a notebook and start, reframing. But that's what the majority of these journals are. The journal prompts are to reframe your own limiting beliefs, because reframing, cognitive reframing, is what helps you to change your inner world, your inner belief system, which in turn changes your human existence. Another one is vision boards. You'll see my vision board in the background there. And as cliche as it sounds, it's like, oh, that's just a thing that, women in their early 20s do because it's aesthetic and pleasing. Trust me, like, that vision board is not aesthetic or pleasing, and I'm not in my early 20s either. The reason I have a vision board is to help me manifest my own dream life and remind myself of what I said I'd do and create self-trust. If you want to learn to trust yourself more, start taking action on the things that you said you would do. Yesterday afternoon, I was actually very stressed and I was feeling really, really anxious because I'm actually planning on moving. This is a perfect example, okay? Planning on moving to a whole different city, Sunshine Coast, to my Australians. I'm so excited. But I was also very stressed because moving is very stressful. And I had all of these thoughts start to come up, like, oh my goodness, what if I don't make any friends? Oh my goodness, what if the place that I decide to move into, it seems fine when I do the inspection, but then, the roommate isn't someone who they said they'd be, and then they're up really late at night, and then I don't get sleep. What if I move to this location, which I think is my dream location, but it turns out to be this place that I don't even really, really like? I started journaling. I reframed those beliefs. But what if I meet friends of a lifetime? But what if I fall in love with the location? But what if the place I move into is a place that I actually don't have to move out of again? So that is a perfect example of how powerful journaling is and how powerful cognitive reframing is. And the reason I'm mentioning this with reference to vision boards is because on my vision board, there is a picture of the Sunshine Coast. 2 pictures, in fact. I did not even plan on moving this year. I just planned on visiting the Sunshine Coast. I was really anxious and worried and just overwhelmed in a bit of a frantic state yesterday afternoon. I looked at my vision board. I was like, oh my gosh, I've already ticked off this and this and this and this. And it reminded me, hang on, no, I can trust myself. Hang on, why am I assuming the worst when I may as well assume the best? And on the back end of vision boards, in order to learn to detach, you have to be obsessed with creating your dream life. As obsessed as you are with that person or that outcome, that amount of obsession you need to take and reinstall back into you. And again, one of the best ways to do that is to start reframing your self-limiting beliefs. My link is in the description to my 30 days of detachment journal prompts. And you can also get 10% off by using the code, I believe it's Scarlet Loon 10, but I'll put the discount code in the description as well. Shameless plug, I know, but it actually helped me. And they are the exact journal prompts that I used. So you're welcome. To conclude here, detachment means that you start to enjoy the journey, because the fact is about life is that it's completely uncertain and a lot of it is unpredictable. But when you choose to enjoy the journey, you become more present. You become not so obsessed with every single outcome. And whether something bad happens or not, let's just say something bad happens, at least you enjoyed the journey up until the point of something bad happening. At least you weren't the person who initiates this journey and is worried and stressed and can't even be present and assumes the worst, and then the worst happens. Because the most valuable resource we have, well, this is a little bit political. I mean, we could have a debate on this, but there is a phrase that the most valuable resource you have is your time. So use your time wisely. Be joyful with the time that you have. If you let uncertainty literally just throw you around, you're going to feel like a log that's just floating in the river. And that's exactly how I felt. If something happened in my life, I'd let it take me that way. If something happened in my life, I'd let it take me this way. And before I know it, I am not going anywhere that I plan to go. I'm just going in the same direction of the river. When you learn to detach, you are the grounded tree that will withstand any sort of weather, any sort of storm, because you are that grounded and at home with yourself. So that's it for today's video, guys. If you did like this video, drop a like. I have linked my podcast channel in the description. It's called Under the Loon. It is the audio format of all of my YouTube videos. And I am so pleased to announce that I am now opening up some foundation spots for my one-on-one coaching to embrace your feminine energy and master detachment. I already have some clients of my own, however, that's just through word of mouth. This is the first time I am mentioning this on social media. Couldn't be more pleased. If you are interested, there will be either an application link below or an inquiry link of some sort. I haven't actually sorted that out yet, but it will be there. You're welcome to check it out if you are interested. And again, my 30 days of detachment or 30 days of healing your anxious attachment is linked down below, and you can get 10% off by using my code ScarletLoon10. You can also check out all of my other self-development recommendations, health and holistic health recommendations as well via my Amazon store link. And the video that you should watch next, I will leave here at the very end. I will also link it below. Have a lovely day. I'm so passionate about this and I'm so happy to bring this video to you guys. I am so grateful as well for every single one of you from the bottom of my heart. Not because, oh, more subscribers will bring me more money. Apparently you have to be at 100,000 subscribers to bring you money on YouTube. No, I am just so happy and blessed and grateful for the community that we have, and I'm so blessed to be able to help you and inspire you to learn detachment and to become more feminine, because it has completely changed my life, and I can only hope and pray that you experience the same thing. So it's so lovely to have you here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.